So this is Steve, and I'm here with Geoff Paddock. Geoff is a member of the Northeast Indiana Passenger Rail Association, or NIPRA,
Right.
as a board member. Geoff, you gave an update earlier today, and thought we'd get together and kind of talk about it.
Right. A couple things of importance, Steve. NIPRA had submitted an application to the Fort Wayne Legacy Committee, the group that is deciding what to do with some of the Indiana and Michigan settlement dollars from the light lease sale. And we have submitted an application for about $2 million that would be used for a match for a feasibility study and perhaps some dollars for rehabilitation, reconstruction of tracks between Fort Wayne and Chicago as part of a local match. We understand that of the many projects that were submitted, ours was rated quite highly and survived an initial round of cuts and will be discussed at a further session. So we felt good about that and wanted to let folks know that at least there is discussion on trying to get some funding together for this. Secondly, I think we'd want to point out that we are working on trying to do an economic impact study similar to what Warsaw and Kosciuszko County did. And in that, they determined that over a period of 20 years, rail service coming back through Warsaw could add as many as 750 jobs over 20 years, add up to $160 million in economic activity, improve property values, perhaps up to $50 million. So, excuse me, we think that's significant. We think that shows that passenger rail can provide jobs and economic activity, and we're hoping that Fort Wayne and Allen County can get the funding together to also conduct such a study. Obviously, we're a much larger metropolitan area than Warsaw, and if Warsaw can show 700 and some jobs, perhaps we can do substantially better. And if we can really get some numbers together and make a business case for this, we feel more confident that eventually we could get support from Governor Daniels and INDOT and our state legislators for further rail development. So that's important. The fact that funding is scheduled to be released from the Federal Rail Administration soon for the Gateway Project, and that is the project up around Lake County that builds new lines to relieve congestion so freight trains and passenger trains don't have to always share the same track. There's a bottleneck up there around Lake County into Chicago. That's significant. That makes it feasible to get a train, a separate dedicated train track, passenger train out of Lake County and down through Valparaiso and then along the old Norfolk and Southern tracks for service into Fort Wayne. So that's significant. We understand that project will be moving along soon. And I think of also interesting to note is that the state rail plan is supposed to be submitted to the public, released, if you will, to the public sometime in September, and there would be a period then for public comment. As you may recall, Steve, back in April, I submitted several hundred petitions from folks who wanted to see rail service come back to Fort Wayne, Amtrak back to Fort Wayne. We're hoping that the state rail plan will look at that issue favorably and perhaps also give us some guidance on what we might do to obtain that. In addition to looking at how we can move more freight through the state of Indiana, because that is important for our economy as well. So I think those are significant developments, but particularly the Legacy Committee, which is looking at NIPRA's proposal to put some funding aside that would be used for leverage for future state and perhaps federal dollars to actually do major upgrades along the old NS track that runs parallel to US 30 and that could serve Amtrak passenger service out of Fort Wayne to Chicago.